By show of hands, how many of you know what it feels like to be stressed and overwhelmed? How many of you would like strategies to have less stress and way more ease and flow? My name is Phang. I'm excited today because I get to share 5 life-enhancing tips with you that will give you more leverage in this game of life so you can deliberately create more quality experiences. You're also going to learn how to use your own built-in emotional compass so you can keep things simple when you make decisions, eliminate unnecessary stress, and just have way more fun. How many of you like to have fun? I like you guys. You're also going to learn how to focus your attention to create your ideal outcome. In this way, you can use the same strategy to enhance any area of your work, wellness, and relationships. And by relationships, I'm not just talking about the relationships with others. I'm talking about the relationship with yourself, your work, your health, your fitness, your finance, your environment, everything in your life. The quality of your life depends on the quality of all your relationships. Before I continue, may I tell you a little bit about myself and why I'm here? Okay, thank you. I was born and raised in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I moved to Canada when I was 13 years old. And I've been living in Canada now for over 30 years. And for the past 20 years, I've been an entrepreneur. And during this time, I had many successes and many failures. And by successes, I mean, I helped a lot of individuals and organizations. I got a lot of media attention. I got nominated as one of Canada's top 40 under 40. And I raised $10 million with a group of people, and we started a nonprofit organization called Imagine One Day. And this organization builds schools in Ethiopia, Africa. And it's been almost 15 years, and this organization has built over 50 schools, trained 12,000 teachers and leaders to sustain the school and the community, and enrolled 80,000 children back into school. And the goal of this organization is that by 2030, that every child in Ethiopia will have access to quality education free of foreign aid. So it's exciting to see where it goes. By failures, I have made some pretty bad decisions along the way that led to heartbreaking outcomes and a huge debt. And the reason that all this is beneficial to you is because it was during this journey of successes and failures that led me to life's most powerful lessons and success strategies, some of which I want to share with you today. And it's also during this same journey of successes and failures that led me to my most rewarding work as a wellness coach, speaker, trainer, a writer. And sometimes my clients would joke around and say things like, Penny, you make it look easy, or Penny, you're so lucky. And the truth is, I haven't always been a lucky penny. Most people would not know the extent of my past and the physical abuse that I endured throughout my childhood and my adolescent years. And even though those wounds have healed, they're not forgotten. They had so much to teach me, and they continue to teach me till today. And what I felt was a lot of pain and suffering at one time, I've come to appreciate it for everything it has taught me and who it has made me become. I still recall a time when I was 9 years old, and I was playing by myself after school, right outside the gates of the school, next to a ditch, a really filthy, smelly, wet ditch. And that sun was just beating down on me that day. I remember sweat trickling down the side of my forehead. And as I was wiping sweat off my forehead, I accidentally slipped, and I fell into this ditch. Now, I was wet and smelly and filthy. The next thing I recall, I was brutally punished and severely beaten for being stupid, useless. I remember being dragged by my hair from the front of the house all the way to the back of the house. And I was so scared, all I could do was scream in pain and fear. And when we got to the back of the house, some form of chemical was poured on me. And then I was threatened with a match that I would be burned because, well, you're not loved, you're not wanted. All I could do was scream because I was so scared. I screamed so hard that day that I lost my voice. I was still screaming, but I lost my voice and nothing was coming out. So it was one of the scariest days of my life. But went that way. I lived in varying degrees of fear each day growing up. Some days were less intense, and other days were almost as intense. And in age where little girls were playing with their toys, I was trying to figure out how to end my own life. And so my first suicide attempt was at the age of 9, just a few years older than that picture on the left. Because I didn't feel like I had a loving or safe environment growing up. All of that pain and trauma kind of led me down a really lonely journey into deep depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. I was sick, but I didn't even know I was sick. I thought it was somewhat normal to feel pain in your heart every now and then, because isn't that what people feel? And so I learned to get away with that. I talked myself into being okay with it. So I lived like that for a long time. I got things done, just like everybody else. I had good days, I had bad days, I had productive days and not so productive days, so I thought I got away with it. But over time, all of that unresolved emotion and energy blockages, it just kind of took over, little by little. Everyday normal stresses were more challenging than it needed to be. Regular relationship challenges was harder than it needed to be, and I knew something was taking over and it was getting heavier. And if I didn't do something about it, that it would eventually take me over. And so it was that I decided to go on a self-healing journey. And I'm talking about an inner journey. And it was during this journey that I discovered the energy body. And when I learned to work with this energy body, I was able to empower myself from the inside out. And I'm not just talking about me getting fit and healthy physically, I'm talking mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And then it was also this same journey that I discovered how important every single human emotion is and how it serves you. And then I discovered the powerful emotion of forgiveness. And so in time, I chose to forgive all of those who caused me harm. And then I realized that forgiveness healed me. It gave me integrity and it made me strong. And then I realized that forgiveness is a gift. Forgiveness. It's a gift you give yourself. I knew that in order for me to serve you well, I had to serve me first. And so I did. I forgave. And this is why I choose the work I do today, so I can continue to give freely and be of service to others and be for them what I needed for me. When I was nominated Top 40 Under 40, I was 28 years old. Today, I'm turning 44 this August. And I'm stronger today in my 40s than I ever was in my 20s. And as a wellness coach and trainer, I've helped thousands of people online and in person to achieve their health and fitness goals and to feel good in their bodies. How many of you like to feel good in your body? Thank you. It was also during this time that I feel, as a society, we hear a lot about how we should eat right and work out more. But so often I find we put way too much pressure on eating right and doing the workout when we should be doing the work in. How many of you agree with that? Thank you. I told you a personal story today so I could create a safe space for us to learn and share, because I believe that our mind and hearts is like a parachute, and it only works when it's open. So I'm going to thank you in advance for remaining open today to receive some really powerful information that I believe will positively benefit you moving forward. I want to start by introducing you and reminding you of some universal truths that will positively shift the way you use your mind and emotions moving forward. And I want to start by reminding you of who you really are, and that you are a vibrational being. You see, you have a physical body, you can see it, but you also have an energy body, but you cannot see that. We call that your aura. Right? You hear the word aura? See, everything in our world is made up of energy, and we know that. Every object, every person, everything is made up of energy, therefore it offers a frequency, a vibration. You live in a vibrational world, you are a vibrational being. Everything you think, say, feel, and do also offers an energetic vibration. All the words you use all have energy, and therefore offers a vibration. See, everything has to be a vibration before a manifestation. And what that means is everything has to happen first in our energy world as some form of vibration before it can even be realized by you as something you call reality in this physical world. And Everything has to be some form of vibration before you can even interpret it through your own physical senses, where you can see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, hear it. All of it is just you realizing vibration, and you've just gotten so good at it. You've gotten so used to it that you don't even know you're doing it anymore. But the reality that you know is your reality, you, me, everything around you, all of it is just you realizing that vibration. And that means that you're interpreting vibration. You're interpreting your own reality. And we don't all interpret our reality the same way because we don't interpret vibration the same way. That's why we don't want to look the same way, we don't want to dress the same, we don't want the same relationship, the same job. Heck, we don't even agree with each other about the same things because we don't interpret vibration exactly the same way. So if everything is a vibration before it can be a manifestation, this means the key takeaway here is that you have to tend to your vibration, your energy first, before you can easily attract your ideal physical experience. So let me give you a quick refresher on, in a nutshell, how energy actually works. See, things that feel good offer high vibration. That means good things that feel good, people, objects, ideas, beliefs, anything that feel good offers a higher vibration. And things that don't feel good offer a lower vibration. And things that offer similar vibrational frequencies will naturally attract themselves to each other. Have you guys ever heard of the phrase, birds of a feather flock together? Yes? Thank you. How about like attracts like? Yes? Thank you. See, this is what most people know as law of attraction. But most people also don't understand how this law actually works, so they think it doesn't work at all. But it works. This law is in charge of how energy and vibration interact with each other. Its job is not to show you how to make it work for you. That would be your job. So when you start to become a deliberate creator of your reality, you want to remember this. Tip number 1. You have to get to know the law of manifestation. Now this law shows you how to make the law of attraction work for you. Now these are universal laws, just like the law of gravity. You can't see them. It's a force that's always working. It's constant, accurate, always at work. Law of gravity, if you jump every single time, you're going to what? You're going to fall. And so it is same with these laws. You can't see Wi-Fi, but it's working. You can't see electricity, but it's working. And so it is same with this law of manifestation. Its job is to attract into your life whatever you pay attention to with strong emotions. See, law of manifestation does not respond to what you say. It only responds to what you mean, how you truly feel. So if you can think rich, act rich, talk rich, but if you feel poor, you're going to attract what you feel. If someone asks you how you do today, by default you go, I'm good, thanks, I'm fine, thanks. But you're not really feeling that great. You're just saying that by default, well then you're not really feeling it. That means you're not raising your vibration. Albert Einstein, most celebrated genius and scientist. You all heard of Albert Einstein? Thank you. He says, match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. Nikola Tesla, famous inventor, he invented the lamp, the radio, the remote control. He says if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you've got to think in terms of vibration, energy, and frequency. Even our modern day thought leaders, they will tell you, change your energy, change your life. A shift in energy is always followed by a change in reality. So, what did Einstein mean when he says match the frequency of the reality you want and you cannot help but get that reality? In short, he's just saying you will have success in what you say and do when you first align to higher vibration. So let's put it this way. Have you ever tried to download your email when you're not connected to Wi-Fi? Did anything come through? Nothing. Right? Because the connection has to occur before the download can happen. That means you have to be connected to your service provider, your source. And just like you can't tune your radio dial to 103.5 if you want to listen to what's at 104.5 because the frequencies are not a match. You've got to tune your radio dial to the right broadcasting station to receive what's coming from that source. And so it is that you too have a source. It's also known as your inner being. And your inner being has a high vibrational frequency. Just like your email needs to connect to the source to receive, and your radio needs to connect to the source to receive, you too need to connect to your source in order to receive. So here's the thing. You've been there before. It's called alignment. You've been in alignment many times in your life. You know what it feels like to feel good and inspired. That's alignment. Your best work didn't come when you were feeling low and stressed. It came when you were in alignment, when you felt ease or satisfaction. That's alignment. But here's the thing. Most people created their life by default. They were not deliberate in how they got into alignment, so they can't tell you exactly how it happened and how to recreate it to create more quality experiences. But when you become a deliberate creator of your own reality, you are deliberate and understand exactly how you got into alignment, and you deliberately create more quality experiences. And when you do that, you remember tip number 2. You've got to align first, then action. This means that before you say or do anything, before you act, before you make that call, before you have that conversation or sit down for that serious meeting, you want to give more airtime to the things that make you feel good so you can raise your vibration, get into alignment, and let that frequency of alignment inspire your action. Because great ideas, good things, things that feel good to you, they exist in higher frequencies. So you've got to line up to that higher frequency in order to be in that receiving mode to receive them. And you do that by lining up, pairing up your mind and your emotions so they work together and not against each other. And this way you create way less resistance within your energy, and you raise your vibration and get into the receiving mode to receive these great ideas, situations, opportunities. See, these infinite number of great opportunities and situations already lined up and queued up for you. They're already brewing and vibrationally becoming. It's like a baby in a womb. It's not here yet, but it's already here. It's in a gestation process. And so it is that you receive all these great opportunities and situations when you get into alignment. So you want to find ways to get into alignment more often so you can receive. And with that, let's talk about what it means to be in alignment. What does it feel like? Alignment means you're inspired to your action. When you're in alignment, you're persuasive. When you're in alignment, you feel clarity, excitement. You feel energized, satisfied. Great things happen when you're in alignment, like right timing, right people, objects, ideas. Right words come out of your mouth. Things just flow. That's alignment. You receive impulses to be or do or say something. Like you receive an impulse to pick up your arm and reach for the remote control and turn it on just because. Then something comes on the TV and gives you the best idea or gives you an answer you've been waiting for. Or you receive an impulse to turn left instead of right just because. And then you run into someone who introduced you to something and something great came out of it. Or maybe nothing great came out of it, but it was just so cool to have that synchronicity, you know? Coincidence, we can call it. What a coincidence you picked up. What a coincidence you happen to be hiring. What a coincidence I made a left instead of a right. But a coincidence is just a sign of alignment. So let me ask you a question. Can you still get stuff done when you're not in alignment? If you're saying yes in your head, then you're right. You can get things done when you're not in alignment, except you know, it's just not as fun. It feels more forced than inspired. You feel stressed or overwhelmed, sick and tired. Maybe you call in sick because you're tired. What you work so hard to attain is so hard to sustain for some reason. What you once loved, some days you don't even know how you feel about it. And that's what it feels like to do things when you're not in alignment. But when you become a deliberate creator, you understand that you have to align first and then action. Because your action alone is, well, it's minuscule in comparison to the power and the leverage of your alignment first. So let's talk about how you get into alignment. So your mind creates your reality. You're constantly turning thoughts into things, thoughts into things. Have you ever thought about how you turn thoughts into things? Because everything here is once a thought and now they're things. How did you do that? Because human beings are the only creatures on the planet that can think a thought and make themselves angry. Think a thought and then make themselves worried. Or think a thought and make themselves happy. That's so powerful. You're so powerful. You're so powerful because you can think a thought that conjures emotions, and the emotion offers a frequency, and that frequency is a vibration, and that vibration is your energy. And your energy is always interacting with energy, whether you know it or not. Have you ever walked into a room and then you felt something was off? Maybe it's kind of heavy and you don't want to stick around, you want to leave? That's energy interacting with energy. Or maybe you're in a pretty good mood and you have a conversation with this friend that won't stop talking, and then you leave and you feel drained. That's energy interacting with energy. Same as when you let yourself go to these stressful thoughts without being too deliberate, you stay there too long, that energy can bog you down. You can have 8 hours sleep, wake up, and still feel tired. Or nothing bad happened today, you had a good day, but you somehow feel unmotivated and low. Energy interacting with energy. Or some people have fame and fortune and they feel depressed, like I was. Why? It's because of what's going on in here most of the time. What are you thinking about most of the time? What do you believe? Because there is no reality outside the one you perceive, the one you believe. See, your mind doesn't know the difference between what is really, really happening right now and what you're really, really imagining right now. As long as there's a thought that's conjuring emotion, there's a frequency, there's a vibration. It's vibrationally already becoming, and if you stay in that momentum long enough, it manifests. So to the mind, if there's a vibration, it's real. It's real. This is why some people thrive at the worst of times, and some people suffer at the best of times. That goes to show that you have a choice in how you perceive events so that they serve you. This means that events were all neutral until you put a meaning to them. So it's not about what's happening. It's about what you think is happening. It's not about what someone said. It's about what you think they're saying. If someone said no to you, do you see that as no, I've just been rejected, I'm not good enough, I don't belong, and you move in your next few steps from that lower frequency place of just not good enough, and you create a less than ideal reality? Or are you a deliberate creator and you see no as an opportunity, an acronym for next opportunity, and you move from that higher frequency place of looking for the next opportunity, believing that there is one, and you create a more ideal reality. You get to choose. And as a deliberate creator, here's where it gets really, really exciting. You want to remember tip number 3. A thought reaches a combustion point at 17 seconds of pure, undiluted focus. This means if you can hold a thought purely without contradicting it with another thought, without diluting it with a negative thought, then there will be enough attraction power for another thought with a similar vibrational frequency to join it. Now, if you can hold that thought for another 17 seconds, then there's enough attraction power for that thought to start growing exponentially. And if you can hold it for another 17, and another 17, that's a total of 68 seconds, well, now there's enough momentum in that thought for law of manifestation to start manifesting it into some form of reality. It doesn't sound real for most people, because most people have never had much experience feeling a combustion of thought that comes from 17 seconds of pure, undiluted focus. So 68 seconds is a rather long time, because an average person rarely finishes a sentence without contradicting their own energy. I want to buy a new car, but I can't afford it. I want to go on vacation, but I don't have time. Do you see how quickly it took me to just cancel out what I want? It didn't even have a chance to breathe or vibrationally become, and I've already offset it with my contradicting thoughts. And that's how most of us create by default. But when you remember that you're a deliberate creator and you start to play this game as a deliberate creator, you realize this combustion of thought can go either way. It can go towards something wanted or something unwanted. And with that, you know that you have, if the combustion of thought happens at 17 seconds, that means you have 16 seconds leeway to change your mind. Before law of manifestation adds momentum to that thought. That means you have that time to let yourself off the hook. Do that humaning thing we do. We come here to play games, we came here to be human, so do that humaning thing. Swear if you want. Raise your voice if you want. Don't be so quick to judge yourself wrong or bad. You know, as a deliberate creator, you've got to allow yourself to feel it authentically in order to transcend it quicker. But if you resist, you know it will persist. Your mind is so powerful. And you want to use this tool to focus on what you want to create your ideal reality. And in my high vibrational workshops, we offer strategies on how you can leverage the combustion of thought. Train your pivoting muscles, I call it. You want to train those muscles to pivot from unwanted thoughts to wanted thoughts. And in each moment, you really do have a choice. You have a choice to be deliberate. You have a choice in how you focus your attention. You always have a choice. And you're always just one choice away from a completely different reality. And that's your superpower. High five the person next to you and say, I have a superpower.
I have a superpower.
You guys have a superpower, and it's really, really powerful. See, a lot of the pain that we deal with are really only thoughts. If I ask you to hand over all your pain, put them in my hands so I can take them away from you, you can't. You can't physically put them in my hands because it doesn't physically exist. It only exists by you, I want to say living, and you're living it through thinking or imagining it. And energy grows where attention goes. So you don't want to, as a deliberate creator, put your energy or your attention on anything you don't want to grow. If you don't like something, you can take away its only power, your attention. So, when you become deliberate again, and you create your life, create more quality experiences, how do you know you're focusing on the right things for you? Tip number 4. Your emotion is your solution. It's a great indicator telling you if you're going in the right direction or not. If it feels good, you're going in the right direction. If it doesn't feel good, you're not. Allow me to introduce to you the emotional vibrational scale. Have you guys seen the scale before? This scale can give you an incredibly deep understanding of yourself and the world around you so you can deliberately create more quality experiences. May I show you how this scale works? Thank you. This scale reveals how every emotion offers a frequency and therefore has been assigned a numerical value. Enlightenment sits at the very top at 1,000 and shame at the very bottom at 20. And everything that exists in our world, whether energetically or physically exists, whether it's a person, object, idea, or belief, all vibrate somewhere along the scale. And how high something is on the scale depends on how far it has come in the evolution of humanity. Whether it has achieved enlightenment, whether it's stuck somewhere in a fearful survival mode, or whether it's somewhere in between. Here are some interesting examples of the scale. Many religions started out at 1,000, but today, many or a few of them have dropped down anywhere between 100 to 900 as a result of misinterpretation. Have you guys ever heard of Mother Teresa? Yes? How about Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln? Yes? And Gandhi? Yes? Well, guess where these people vibrate on the scale?
1,000.
700. You know, that's pretty good. 700, that's rare. It is a rare place to be, but they are at 700, and that makes you positively persuasive and influential. Have you guys heard of the music by the Beatles? Guess where their music vibrates? 520, level of love. U.S. Marine Corps, 175, level of pride. Racial supremacy group, 150, level of anger. But here's the most staggering revelation of all. As a result of negative programming and energy blockages, 85% of the human population falls below 200, fluctuating between pride and shame. That's where I was at one time and I didn't even know it. I always wondered why things are happening to me. I never thought to ask, how are things happening for me? And so it is that throughout your life, in each moment, you attract people, objects, ideas, and situations that vibrate at a level similar to you. And so if your vibration is stuck at 200, you would mostly be rejecting good things into your life easily, like lasting health and wealth, true joy and love, and healthy relationships. Whereas if your vibration is at 500 or above, then every area of your life just drastically improves. When we talk about your emotion being your solution, we're talking about how your feelings are your emotional GPS. And you want to pay attention to this GPS because it's like your Google Maps or your Waze on the phone, right? You guys all have those apps. It tells you where you are, so you know where you can go. And so, it's like you're not feeling good, for example. You're just not feeling good. Have you ever been in a place where you're concerned and you're worried or you're stressed and you're trying to feel good, but you just don't have access to feeling good in that moment? You've all been there, right? And then your family or friends maybe try to help you out and they come up and tell you, cheer up, think positive, snap out of it. It's all good, don't waste your energy. And you're thinking, I'm trying to feel good. I just can't right now. And you know what? You're right. You can't. You can't feel good right now, and you have every right to not feel good right now. Because if you're feeling sad or depressed at 50, and you're trying to jump to 3, 4, or 500, happy, well, that is a vibrational contrast. You can't leap frequencies. If you try to leap frequencies, it's going to spit you out and you're going to feel thrown off. But you can't feel good, but you can always feel better. So if I was your friend, this is what I would say to you. I would say you have every right to feel the way you feel right now. In fact, you're in a perfect position to feel better. And I'm going to talk you into anger. I'm going to find something you can get angry about. Guess what? If I can get you angry, and there's always something to get angry about, I can move you to 150. I'd rather you be at 150 than at 50, because at 50 you're depressed, you do nothing. At least at 150 you're a little bit fired up and you're kind of ready to do something. Then I'll talk you into to blame someone or something. It's so easy to blame someone or something and it feels better. So go blame someone. That'll move you up to 175. Then when you're at 175, you're closer to 200. Now you're moving. You don't go there as a deliberate creator to stay there. You go there because you know, as a deliberate creator, if you go there, it helps you reach, you have access to the next better feeling place. That's why you go there, not to stay there. And so when you use your emotions in this deliberate way, the next higher frequency will just suck you in. Because we talked about how things that offer similar vibrational frequencies naturally attract themselves to each other. That means you can go either way. You can go spiraling down or you can go up. As a deliberate creative, you want to go up, you're going up. But here's the thing, we're all going to dip. You want to know it's okay. Like when you dip, you don't want to leap frequency. You can't feel good, but you can feel better. If you leap, it'll be like a train wreck. You think about a train going full speeds that way, and you want that train to stop right now and turn around for you, and you slam on the brakes, you know what's going to happen to that train. It's going to derail and cause a mess. And that's how your emotions are too. You want to pump those brakes and allow it to slow down. Then you can turn it around and have it go anywhere you want. So as we dip, because we will, in and out of alignment, each moment, each day, we dip in and out depending on how life has touched us in the moment. Did we get into a disagreement with our best friend? Did we stub a toe and now it hurts and it's frustrating? Or did I just spill coffee all over my computer? You're going to be in and out of alignment all day, every day. But here's the thing. When you become a deliberate creator again, that muscle gets strong, you dip way less. And when you dip, and you will, you get out of the dip so much quicker. And then life becomes so much more fun and exciting. And then you're like, oh my goodness, it's not even about the dip. It's about how you feel about the dip. So you want to make sure you remember your friend. Your emotion is your best friend. You don't want to beat it up or ignore it. It's like that gas gauge in your car. It's telling you when you're empty so you can go fill up your gas before you run out of gas and get stuck. You bash your gas gauge and say, "You stupid gauge." I hate it when you get low. Or your phone has a battery icon, tells you when you're running low, so you can go get charged before you run out of juice. You don't throw your phone out the window and tell your phone, "You stupid phone. I hate it when you get low." You don't. And that's why you want to treat your emotions the same way. It's just there to serve you. It tells you you're running low. It's time to get charged up. When you're ready, it's time for you to climb those emotions. So it's there to serve you. And as a delivered creator, as you live this way, you realize all of this is how powerful you truly are, you start to remember tip number 5, that this is an inclusion-based universe. So if you're going to live in this world and play in this space, you want to know the rules of the game and the universal laws that govern them so you can play the game better. Inclusion-based means that there's no exclusions. Everything in our universe is a yes, 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 yes. If you look at something, want it, and you say yes to it, you pay attention to how you want it, you include it in your vibration. If you look at something unwanted and you say no to it, and you pay attention to how you never want that, you include that in your vibration as well. No is not relevant in an inclusion-based universe. You can say, "I don't want to live on a budget, I hate it when that happens," and then you get to live on a budget. You get to experience that. "I hate that kind of relationship, I never want it, I don't know why I keep it." You get to experience that kind of relationship. Conversely, you could say, "I want that job, I want to get in shape," but what is your relationship with that subject? Because if your relationship with that subject is one of abundance and you're feeling amazing, excited, and you're just all about it, then you get to experience more of that around that subject. But if your relationship with the subject is one of lack, how you hate it, you're depressed about it, you're desperate about it, you resent it, then you get to experience more of the same around that subject. See, the universe, this law of manifestation, it's always only bringing to you more of how you're truly feeling. Oh, you're complaining about this thing you don't like, you're trying to get rid of this thing you don't like, you're telling everybody about it. Well, here's more to complain about, tell about, and rid of. What, you like this thing, it makes you happy, you're feeling gratitude and excited. Well, here's more to feel gratitude and excitement and good about. The universe is always just bringing you exactly what you're feeling inside. And so your current life experience, right now, is a really good indicator of how you're truly feeling inside. Your life is always reflecting back at you what's truly active in your own vibration. So it's really good that you have your emotion as your guidance system, always giving you a choice so you can change your mind. You can say, "This sucks. I hate that I keep experiencing this." Well, it's obviously active in my vibration because I'm attracting it. So it's time to clean up my vibration. Time for me to get deliberate. Time for me to leverage that 68-second rule, that combustion of thought, play with the 16-second leeway, pivot my thoughts. You get deliberate. And then as you get deliberate, you remember that our nature, universe, is so loving and so kind and so inclusive and non-judgmental. You see, gravity doesn't judge you for, being whether you're tall or short, rich, poor, or black or white. You don't lose your right to gravity because, you're like 5'3", right? Just like your muscles don't judge you for what you're lifting to get strong. You can lift a 20-pound dumbbell or a 20-pound bag of rocks. All it knows is that there's 20 pounds of pressure. So it's going to just grow equally as strong to serve you. And so it is that the law of manifestation, it doesn't judge how you got into alignment, as long as you're in alignment. That means as long as you're in the higher frequencies, you're in your receiving mode to receive. So you know what this means? I'm going to write this down. This means you can get happy about anything. Find any subject that makes you happy and milk it for the good vibration that it gives you. It's so easy to feel good about something that's already working, to feel gratitude for something that's working. Pay attention to those things. Milk it. Be deliberate about how it makes you feel good and how it raises your vibration. Use it and milk it. And so in my high vibrational workshop, we show people how to milk high vibrational subjects. We play different games, such as train your right muscles. See, it's so easy to list a bunch of things going wrong. But have you ever spent the entire day listing a bunch of things going right? Because if you want to be deliberate to create a reality, there's a whole lot of things going right. Like, my car's working right now, that's going right. I don't have a cavity, that's going right. My computer's working, it's not freezing, that's going right. And my goodness, I turn on the switch and the light comes on, that's going right. There's just, I turn on the tap and the water comes up, that's going right. There's just so many things going right, so if you really want to be deliberate, there's a lot of things going right. And if you play this game all day, you get to witness for yourself how your energy shifts, and then you get to witness for yourself what you attract back into your life today and tomorrow. So you want to do less observing of what is and reacting to what isn't, like complaining about it, talking about it, blogging about it, telling people about it, because as long as you're watching the news over and over about it, well, guess what? You're keeping all active in your vibration, and you attract more of the same things, different places, different faces. But then you say, ha, I told you, so I told you I was right, told you I was right about life. That's how it works. You kept it active in your vibration. So we didn't come here to, observe other people's reality that they created and react to it. We came to create our own reality. But somehow through negative conditioning and bad habit, we became avid observers of what is, and then we start to sort things into right and wrong piles, good and bad piles, and in our sorting process, we can become a vibrational match to all of it, and then we attract all kinds of things we call random. It's not so random. And there's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing to fix here. Everything is perfect as it is, and it's fun. But the thing is, if you're not having as much fun as you like, if you're just bored and you want more, if you know you could have so much more fulfillment, you're just not sure how, well, this is the chance to play the game a little differently. And so in my high vibrational workshop, we offer strategies on how you can focus your attention and, well, keep things simple, such as using your emotional compass. If you've ever been in a situation where you have to make a decision, should I say it, should I not say it, do it, not do it? Well, this is where you use your emotional compass. And your compass only has 2 points. Do it, not the right time. If something feels good, or at least neutral, or light, or you're just really curious, then do it. Just do it. Go learn the lesson, go experience the emotion. You can always change your mind. But if it feels not so good, heavy, not even at least neutral, maybe you're not that curious, then it's just not the right time. Not the right time right now. It doesn't mean it can't be the right time the next moment, or the next hour, or the next month. Just not right now. Because life is all about the present moment, here and now, 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 nowhere else. All your power is here in the now. So you want to make decisions moment to moment and stay in your power. I hope by now you remember how truly powerful you are, and that everything you need is already within you. Your mind and your emotions are the only tools you need to shift your vibrational state and create your own ideal reality. Because no one can vibrate for you. No one can think and feel for you. However, they can influence the way you think and feel if you're not deliberate. But when you become a deliberate creator, you take full responsibility of your own thoughts and emotions. And that's when you take accountability. And when you take accountability, it means you take control. You put control back in your life, and this way no one and nothing can take you over. And so you don't want to spend too much time blaming anything or anyone for what you have or don't have, feel or don't feel, because as long as you choose to play in lower frequencies for too long, then we will be the exceptional holdout to our own reality. And I know you don't want to be the exceptional holdout. I know you want to be the cooperative component to your own reality. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for us. That's why I'm here. When we talk about your source, your inner being, we're also talking about your inner child. Deep down, you all have your inner child still living with you and always be with you. This is the part of you most pure, most kind, most loving, most compassionate, so wise, knows how to have fun, knows how to play. But somewhere along the way, people are telling this child to stop playing so much. Life is supposed to be tough. You're supposed to struggle. You're not good enough, so keep working at it. And so we do end up living a reality that was fed to us that's really not that conducive to who we truly are. But even that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that either. That's all the nature of the game. It's actually kind of fun. That doesn't even matter. So it doesn't matter what our parents did or didn't do, what an ex-lover did or didn't do. All that matters now is you remember who you are, and that you are the deliberate creator, and you're responsible for this inner child. You are responsible in nurturing this child and giving him or her whatever he or she needs, because when he or she thrives, you thrive. And so if you ever feel discord, if you ever feel off, not good, it only means one thing and one thing only. It means that in this moment, you have just pinched off your source. You have caused some separation between you and your inner being. That means you've cut off that flow of energy, that team of energy that you have at your disposal that you can leverage with. That's the only time you feel alone. Discord. So you've done an amazing job so far with your life, and look at all the experiences you've been able to attract. You know what you're doing, but now that you remember more and you know more, you can do more. You can do more because life is only always moving to more and more and more, not less. So you want to ride this flow of more, jump on this wave of more, and have more because you deserve more. More fun, more flow, more fulfillment. And because there is a flow, there is a life force, an energy, a frequency. That when you line up your personality just the way you are, unapologetically, authentically, because authenticity is a high vibration. So when you line up your personality just the way you are, just this higher frequency, to serve this energy, then everything with your name on it, everything that's already lined up for you, all the right people, ideas, objects, situations, can easily find you, easily flow to you. All the right deals and sales, projects, meetings, contracts, that you're meant to learn from, that you're meant to play with, can easily flow to you. And so it was good to remember that we're all in this game together. We all want what we want, whether it's a great relationship, great health and fitness, great job. It's because we want what we want, because we believe we would feel better in the having of it. So, in essence, we just want to feel better. We all just want to feel good. Because our natural state is one of higher frequencies, so we can't help but gravitate to things that feel good. Because it's natural for you to feel good. Everything else is not natural. Everything else is just familiar. Familiar because of bad habit, from not being deliberate, from practice over time. It becomes familiar, so we gravitate to things that are familiar, but that's not who you are. Your natural state is one that feels good and happy. So when you remember that you're a deliberate creator, you realize now that your number one job in this lifetime is that you feel good. That you feeling good is your number one priority. Nothing else. And then when you realize this, you realize it doesn't even have to be good. It could just be feel ease. Deliberately reaching for the next better feeling place you have access to. That's enough. That's enough to raise your vibration and get you into your receiving mode. And then you realize you can go easy on yourself. You can let yourself off the hook when you're humaning. Be nicer to yourself. And in this way, you lessen your resistance, you raise your vibration, and you get into alignment more frequently. And when you play in higher frequencies more often, you become a conduit to all things good to easily flow through you and to you, and then you become of better service to humanity. Because you're in alignment, you're more powerful and more persuasive than a million who are not. And this isn't magic. This is vibrational alignment. I want to thank you guys for your time and attention today. It has been a privilege and a pleasure to have served you.
Thank you.